for being slightly tardy. Just needed to get some George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk slander off my chest. Steve A. Gebola said, Dorian, Patrick, Fitbit, Macon, James Osborne, Macon. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all well. Let's get this sprint quali on the go. Oh my gosh, what is my Sky Go playing at? Every time they heard me slandering them yesterday, didn't they? Sky Go, 80 something pounds a month or 91 quid. What are we doing out here? Boy, did you guys see Tomo just in the chat? The legend that is, but my guy Tomo, different gravy, that fella, as far as content creation. Such a bloody good guy. You almost hope that, if you're that good, you hope that the chap might be a douchebag, but he's just a proper. He's got a lot of time for Tomo. He's just a legend, a thoroughly good guy to the bone. Right, guys, let's go. We are 5 minutes away from some quali. Let me get some metrics. And if you like F1, I'll give Tomo a proper shout out. Tomo F1. I mean, if you like F1 content, as you do, that's why you're here. Then I'm sure you will like Tomo F1. One of the true gents of the space. Like, I think he's been on holiday recently, so he's not dropped off, but been posting a little less than. Yeah, I don't even know what to do without Tomo content. I'm like, what was I? It's like, where am I? I didn't know me head from me tail. Right, let's get some interesting. This might be. Although I am expecting.
Pitbull and communication.
Here we are.
Finance and HR.
I am expecting.
Win. Formula One on Sky Sports, sponsored by Workday.
Look at that. Look at me advertising them. What a joker. But it is interesting. I'm hoping that these guys. I just want to see a challenge, eh? That's too much to ask. Like, flipping Nora at this stage. Is that too much to ask? Apparently, we're never going to get any edutainment from the driver's press conference on yesterday's form. But do you know what I mean? Like, is it too much to ask for somebody to rise up and maybe compete just a little bit with Max Verstappen? Just to, do you know what I mean? Make me believe for a second that Max could see some jeopardy in sprint quali. Maybe it's incumbent. The onus is on McLaren, right? Because they've bloody got all these upgrades and floors and brake ducts and front wing and rear and suspension, front and back. Maybe it is incumbent on Lando Norris and Oscar, who have 100% and 50% respectively. What's going on, Eli? We are a couple of minutes away. Right, let me get up some cheeky metrics again. This stream is sponsored by the guys and girls over at Multiviewer. I should have carried on that other stream, shouldn't I? I should have just linked it up and just carried on rapping. I was on a roll. It's always weird when you got to stop and start. That's what Michael Schumacher was so good at, right? The quick splash and dash pit stops that he used to do. He just didn't care. Didn't make any difference to his ability to continue with that momentous speed, nearly. Oh dear. Right, I hope you're all good though and ready for a cheeky sprint qualifying session. Sprint quali though, man. You know what the joke is? My big rant yesterday was all kicked off by sprint quali, wasn't it? That was the bloody problem. The question was around sprint quali, and that's when they all started to do. First, Lance does the I agree. And then Lewis does the vicariously I concur. I just lost my mind. I was like, these men are jokers. Lewis, watching it again, Lewis was almost like encouraging the rest of them to just say I agree. It's like, what are you doing, Lewis? Absolute jokers, the lot of them. There's got no chill whatsoever, no respect for viewers watch it. Like when I watch my other sport, look at me gone straight into scorched earth mode. I thought we were here to talk about sprint quali cam. Candidate, what's going on? Candidate, I need to drop you a line, you know. I know somebody that you know. Candidate. Promise you, I'm not even joking, candidate. I have a best friend called Nashon. James, internal joke there, candidate. I'll drop you a line there. James, Lurari, what's he on about? Lewis Ferrari, sideways glance, wry smile, We have to see. I didn't mind. So Lewis got serious for a while, and I didn't give him credit for that yesterday. He did get serious, and he answered the Newey to Ferrari questions seriously. But then the rest of it, I'm just like, flipping Nora, mate. The other press conferences of other sports around the world, they give us these serious answers, right, and use it to engage us meaningfully. And these lot are just like, nah. And I get there's commercial value to be lost if they say the wrong thing. Lewis is a case in point of that. But bloody humour me as like a, candidate. Nashon. You must know Nashon. James agree and see. What's Henry Paddock saying? God tier F1 channel on the YouTubes. I know everyone wants to see Matt struggle, but all he can do is his job. It's in everyone else's hands to be and do better. Couldn't say it better, mate. That's exactly where I am. It's not Max's fault that he's dominating the field, that he's been perfect and not making any unforced errors. The rest of them, Charles Leclerc in the barrier again, spinning again. How many more mistakes do you need to make, Charles Leclerc, before you bloody fix up your act? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, get your SH1T together, chap. We are a couple seconds away from Q1, Q2, and these qualifying sessions are a bit different, aren't they? A bit different. You guys can see this. What the hell? Okay, this is you guys can see this. It's multi-viewer. So again, sponsored by multi-viewer. The guys and girls over at there. We'll talk candidate. Yeah, it's a good lad. Is Nashon, friend of the channel. So Dan, what's going on? I hope you're good. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want this. Boom. Boom. Get your ish together, Cameron. Come on, mate. Let's do one of these. I still don't get my head around these rules, you know, I'll be honest with you. SQ1, SQ2, what can you use? Can you use... So I just don't know. I don't think anybody cares at this point. My guy Peter Windsor said, just scrap. Did you guys see that interview when I said to Peter, well, what would you do? What's your... What are you doing for the format? And he was like, I'll just sack it off, mate, is what I do. That's what I do. Sack it off altogether. Peter. Peter doesn't mess about at all, does he? Absolute legend. Right, let me move myself over so you guys can see. And then we'll get to talking about some sprint quality. Oh no, what's this about? What do you guys think of this Adrian Newey fiasco? Are you sick and tired of it? Do you just want to see it resolved now? Right, we got that. Okay, we're good. We're good. We can see. We've got stuff. Let me just do another one of these so you guys can see additional stuff. Again, chat, multi-viewer gets you all of this and much more. I can't show you because F1 will be very cross at me, but download the app and you've just got... I almost can't watch F1 without this stuff now because it adds so much bloody value. Like it's... Oh. No, we don't want to do that. No. All right. And then put this here. Come on, Cameron. Get your stuff together. Excuse me. See me still coughing out here, chat. How do you get rid of cough? My parents always used to say honey and lemon, but that doesn't work at all. It's almost like my cough has evolved into something stronger. Something undefeatable. Just like Max Verstappen. Sometimes. Boom. All right, cool. No, not cool, because now you can't see number 20. Who cares about last place, do I? I do. Right, let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. And then I need to do another one of these. But yeah, definitely get onto multi-view if you're interested in this sort of stuff, because you'll You'll enjoy it. It's quite good. Promise. Let's get a tiki track map up. Boo. We like that, don't we? Cheeky track map. Let's go. Boom. Let's go. All right. Lance Stroll 29. So let me get on. Nobody cares about this first session is just like, yeah, whatever, man. Just 29.6 for Alonso too. Here he is, Brundle giving it the big chat. That's your job as a racing driver, to keep your minimum speed up. I love that. I love it when Brundle starts to get techie and walking. Here's what Brundle's the best for as a commentator. When he gets techie and starts to walk us, when he commentates in real time, when a driver's on a hot lap. Oh, chef's kiss. I can't hate that. Do me a favour and drop the like, guys, so that the YouTube algorithm knows that I'm trying to add value. Trying, at the very least. Right. Do one of these. Changing all my setups. My setup changes. My work setup. Oh no, that's not what I want to do, is it? No. Okay. It's like I've got one setup for one. No, not that. And then I've got to completely change everything for non-work stuff. Right, there we go. Gucci. Lando's first win will be this sprint race. Alan, do you think so? Well, you know what? It bodes well if Oscar can get within 100th of Max in practice. But then you've got to normalise for that, right? Because Max wasn't Max really necessarily. There we go. 128 from Checo Perez. Oof. Max Purple sector. Go on then. I'm a little bit behind you guys because Sky Go's just rubbish. £90 worth of Sky Go. What am I doing, chat? Get onto F1 TV Pro, Cameron. Stop being stupid. Oh dear. I just want it to be announced. NC Paddock says, you're talking about Newey there, eh? James, to be fast is to be consistent and strategic, mate. And these are the things that like these young bucks don't have. There we go. Max Verstappen goes purple on a 128.6. Piastri though still. Look at this. What is going on here, chat? 128.6. So both Oscar and Verstappen on 128.6s only. 200ths. Or 4 rounded. Go on the McLaren. What's Lando on it? I want to see Lando go hard now. What was he going for the speed trap? 338. Oh, you see what McLaren have done there. They're quicker through the speed trap, aren't they? Really, really long straight around there. And historically, at least season to date, McLaren have been super, super slow. Do you remember they were super slow through? I want to say it was around Jeddah, right? Gaining half a second in Sector 1 on Mercedes. But then super, super slow in the straights. This is going to be interesting. Go on then. iPlus doesn't get nothing out of Q1 again. Oh, CBD. Oh, the humanity chap. Please. Come on, Lewis needs to get out of Q1, surely. Let's go, Hassan. Hassan out here gifting memberships, my guy. No, I appreciate that. Alan, welcome to the clan. Thank you so much, Hassan. You are a legend, sir. Logged off after a long week. What did I miss since yesterday? Got the tab out, split screen, F1 TV stats. Need that app Cam's talking about. Cam's on the right, TV. Let's go, Hassan. Hassan, go and download. It's Multiviewer, the app, and you just get everything. But I suppose the only stick is you might want to watch it with a tablet so you can get like, do you know what I mean? You'll have different screens and all your little metrics, your speed chart. When I'm talking to it, I'm not even watching. I've got the visuals, but a lot of the time when I'm talking to the numbers, the purples and the greens and the yellows, I'm just looking at Multiviewer. Just makes it easier for me, I think. What did you miss, Hassan? You missed just more Adrian Newey stuff, to be fair. Andrea Kim, I just made a video on all this, but I will run it through because you've been so kind. Yeah, I think so too, Hassan. Max Verstappen as per usual, but McLaren, at least in the hands of one Oscar Piastri, look like they've gained a step, and they've got gazillions. They've got brake ducts new. They've got front wing brand new. Front wing end plates brand new. Macon, absolutely right. They've got rear wing brand new. Front and rear suspension brand new. Sounds like they've just got a pretty much brand new car. What's going on then? Oh, Hassan, you're on there already with the Multiviewer? Yeah, mate. Just download Multiviewer and just have a play. There's everything on there. It's bonkers. I don't know how Sky haven't stolen from them already because it's just better. Skunk Truck. I got curious and looked up how many F1 tracks. Turn 1 is a right-hander and it looks like 2/3 right-handers. I think that's that, Skunk Truck, for that Algo. Loving those comments, Skunk Truck. That's a function of I think most of the tracks they go clockwise, don't they? Think of a Silverstone or Monaco. They all go round clockwise. Spa for the most part as well. Clockwise tracks. Oh, Lando Norris. Woo! Let's go! Let's go. Lando Norris goes purple. Provisional pole. This session 1 of sprint quali. 1:27.9. What? How much was he through the speed trap? There we go. That's the difference, isn't it? 3:38. McLaren's not supposed to be that bloody quick through the speed trap. They've changed something. Oh, the humanity. Let's go. Is it better than the F1 TV stats channel? I think so, Hassan. Because it's just more toggle proof. I think that F1 excuse me. I think that F1 stats channel, I just don't think it's as toggle. Not that I've got a massive, extensive experience with that, but I think you'll have just better choice of things, right? Anything that you want, you can get on Multiviewer. Say I'm interested in, say I want to see, look, as an example, look, Oscar Piastri's just come over the radio 60 seconds ago and said that if that's not a penalty, I don't know what is. His engineer responded, we saw that. He's got everything. Chat. Engineer asking Oscar Piastri about the tyre temperatures. One more cool lap. Got time for one lap of the. So I think Multiview is a different level, Hassan, if I'm honest. And it's free, chap. I'd give it a go. Thanks for the rundown. Yeah, that's why I had. It's just different. Mary Mother of God, that was almost a fender bender from hell with Piastri. Didn't even bloody see. I'm not watching, am I? MC. Right, let's go. Let's get. Go on then, Lewis. All right, so elimination zone time. Who's over there? The usual suspects only. One Logan Sargent set to lose his drive to Kimi Antonelli as they desperately try and lobby the FIA to reduce the minimum age, or to reduce the minimum age required to drive an F1 car from 18 to 17. It'd be a romantic story, wouldn't it? Seeing Kimi Antonelli in that bloody car at 17 years old. How long have we got on the clock? 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Logan Sargent currently still in the drop zone. Is he doing a lap? Everyone, all right, so Bottas out, Zhou out, Gasly out. Sargent trying a thing, no chance, mate. Albon, okay, so Albon's still on a lap, isn't he? 43, no, mate, they're all gone, I think. Okay, but your bottom 5 out in Q1. Alex Albon, Gasly, Zhou. Ugh, the usual suspects. Bloody Nora, Albon. Yeah, Brendel calls that. Magnussen's done well. Outperformed his Haas there. Take that. Go on, and so you eliminated in Q1 Williams bods. 2x2x2, isn't it? Noah's Ark of a formation. Both your Williams bods, both your Sauber bods. Gasly. Ocon squeaked through. I always knew Esteban Ocon was better than Pierre Gasly. Don't care what anybody said. Sad to see Williams dead last. Steve A, have you heard the rumour? That's one thing that we haven't talked about just yet. That James Vowles is having a cheeky chat with one Adrian Newey, formerly of the Bulls. That's going to get a bit techie, isn't it? Trying to plate his romantic in him. Come back over here, Adrian. You had fantastic success. Do you remember the FW15? 14 even. It was a really good car, that. To be honest, I feel for Bottas. Bottas is done for, candidate. That dude is toast. Wheel him out already. Like, what's the point? What are we doing over here? I've got no time. You know what? Candidate, don't even get me started on the Bottas thing. Alonso up into P3. I haven't even talked about that chap, have I? Listen, Valtteri Bottas, I'll forget. I'll forgive, but I will never forget 2021. Everybody's always talking about this Michael Massey stuff and the decision that he made or didn't make and all that nonsense. Here's what I will never forget. I'll never forget Valtteri Bottas' no-show through 90% of that season. Super quick. I expected better. Whenever Checo Perez had to step up and make Lewis Hamilton's life difficult, he was there and he was ready. Whenever Valtteri Bottas had to do equal and opposite, nowhere to be bloody seen apart from the time when he accidentally crashed out of the race. Where was he in Abu Dhabi? To play gunman, rear gunner to one Lewis Hamilton. Nowhere. Qualified 6th or whatever and then ended up in 12th at the end of the last lap. What are we doing, Valtteri? You're better than that, sir. Nonsense. D. Murphy, at least 5%. Williams should give Newey ownership. That's probably the only way to go there. Although visual, to be fair to Adrian, he's never striked me as the... He's a rich guy, right? 10 million a year for like the last 10 years at Red Bull. I mean, $100 million man. He doesn't care for... Obviously, we're looking to maximise his next contract, but I don't think that'll be the differentiator, the money, or even equity stake. I think he'll fancy Ferrari, you know, if I'm being honest. I think that's the most likely. Look at that, guys. Look at the top of this. I'm just seeing. It's a proper Noah's Ark, isn't it? 2x2x2. You got McLaren 1 and 2. You got Ferrari 7, 8. RB Visa Cash Up 10 and 11. Sauber 17, 18. Williams 19, 20. I don't like to see that, I'll be honest with you. In FP1, the top 5 were 5 different manufacturers, which boded well. Now, though, it's a bit like, Oh, there we go. Let me see. I'm just getting a visual of this as Anthony Davidson goes through. Oh my God, Oscar Piastri and Valtteri. What are they doing? Oh yeah, Valtteri looking at doing a George Russell and looking at his steering wheel. Yeah, always very sensible. I watched something on Red Bull the other day. Dude, oh yeah, he hadn't been given any information, had he? He just got caught napping, to be fair, on Valtteri. Cursing bad words over the radio. Anthony Davidson makes the correct point that his team should have saved him from himself there, Valtteri. But Sauber can't even change wheel nuts, so you know what I mean? You expect them to be nimble and agile in the way they communicate with their drivers when it takes them, or has been taking them, at least 30 seconds for a pit stop. Like, let's not expect things of people that they're not capable of. That would be unreasonable. Sauber. Get Audi in anyway. And get them to sign Carlos Sainz Jr., although, by the sounds of things, he's not very keen, is he? He's holding out for that Red Bull seat. Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. Oh my God. Play Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton and potentially Adrian Newey and Frederick Vasseur at Scuderia Ferrari. That's quite formidable, isn't it? If Ferrari can sign Adrian Newey, you're looking at Lewis, Charles, Adrian, Frederick Vasseur. Mate. We are. Go on and let's have a look. Choose. Bottas was still fighting. Hassan, was he? Was he when? I didn't see it. At Mexico. Not Mexico, it's Cota, wasn't it? No, it was Mexico. At Mexico, when the two of them locked out, two Mercedes locked out the front row, I was like, okay, so the job is done. Max is in like third place. Granted, it's a long run down to turn one or whatever, but cover them off, right? Like, Bottas will sort it. Just cover the bloody outside. The two of them just sit there in the middle of the road like this and then allow bloody Max Verstappen to just come careering around the outside of both of them into turn one. I was like, Valtteri, that's not... And Lewis to an extent, but Valtteri specifically, that's not the move, chap. Dream team settings, James, absolutely. Vasseur versus the Horn Dog, love it. Love it. Oh, there we go. Crofty on deck. Sargent having out-qualified Albon. First time ever, says Crofty. Nah, even back in Bahrain. I mean, he had highlights, but I think what I mean in Hassan, I'm not saying literally that he never ever showed up. Pep Guardiola used to say this, right, at Barcelona. Like, I don't want you to be like 100% all the game. That's just not serious. Just not sustainable even. What I want you to do is take 2 or 3 moments in the game and affect the game properly. That's what I mean in the clutch moments, Hassan. Like when he really had the opportunity to make a difference at Abu Dhabi, say, or at Cota, say. He just, Mexico City, say. Like he just wasn't there, man. Passenger settings. At the end, he wants to keep his position. Now even Bahrain, literally and figurative. Yeah, I take the argument, Hassan, but that one around the bloody outside into the right-hander at Mexico, like, honestly, Bottas OG in my eyes, stand-up skilled guy. He reminds me a lot of super quick, Hassan. I can't tell him that he's not a quick driver. He's rapid, but I think he lacks a bit of sense at the critical times and a bit of racecraft. Can do. Right, let's have a look. Who's out? Where are we going? What's Carlos Sainz saying? Right, we are 6 minutes 43 seconds remaining of this second sprint qualifying session. What's Carlos Sainz saying? Huh. Lando told that your number is 10 seconds before you come on throttle and that we might need a bit of margin for that. Huh. I have no idea of what they are talking nor to what they are referring. So I think this is one of those tracks that's going to evolve over the course of the session, get quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. 120 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour and smash the like, por favor. That rant yesterday, I just went scoof. I was not having it. Nonsense. Even Lewis can get it. I'm sorry. Love Lewis a lot, but I've got to speak to the way that I feel about these lot sometimes, and the way that I feel that they disrespect the bloody sport as an entity. Like, what are you just sat there giving nothing? Do you know what I mean? Well, like, what are we doing here? What is the point in that? Cheers. Adrian Newey speaking for the first time. Oh, no, I desperately want to watch this. Oh, no. Have you guys seen this on Sky Sports F1? Right, let's have a go through of it whilst we're 5 minutes remaining on board with Charles Leclerc. I've been at Red Bull from Connor Young. It's interesting that the statement that they put out made it seem hunky-dory, and the reason why he wasn't leaving wasn't because of Christian Hornergate. That's exactly why he's leaving. To be fair, I think Christian Hornergate was the straw that broke the camel's back, because he wanted to leave before then, didn't he? Horner had to convince him to sign the contract extension last year. Lando Norris looking a bit saucy around here at the moment. 127.6 purple first sector and second. 29.1, 33.4. Let's go, Lando Norris, in that brand new sexy papaya car that can take that can take real limited corners all of a sudden. He's looking to get a victory, isn't he? Maybe that car... have McLaren... Go on then, you guys let me know in the chat. Do you think McLaren have taken a genuine step forward, or is this all pretense? Are they soon to get found out by Max Verstappen et al. When come the race proper? Finally, with 4 minutes and Max goes. Is that what you think? Yeah, Max will probably get... Yeah. In a minute, you'll see Max just jump to the top of the timing table, won't he? What does Carlos even think he can hold out for? Red Bull? NC Paddock? What could he do that Sergio couldn't? And if he goes, your place is already decided. Good luck, Sir P2. How dare you, NC Paddock. I think, though, Ricardo hit the wall. Yeah, cheers, Danny. Danny and Charles just hitting the wall for no reason each and every single time. Like, what is the point? Carlos every day. Visual. Too early to say. They haven't had time to explore setups with the new part. I completely agree. See, you are the rational-minded one, Visual. I think it is also too early to say. Money's still on Max. I mean, flipping Nora. How good can those upgrades be, really? Are we on higher or lower settings for Hope's team, LH Hassan? Hassan. Is that even a story that I have emotional bandwidth to broach at the moment? I'm not sure. Shout out to your bar because the fade, crazy sharp. Jude, I can't even talk about the fade. You can see already that it's not as sharp as it was. I kind of prefer it on day 2 after. You know what I mean? Like when it's bedded in a little bit in the... I don't know. It just put a lot of bloody dye in my hair. It looks good, but maybe that's by virtue of the fact that Cameron is an old grey beard now, and the hairline is receding ever so slightly, he says. Used to be down here back in the day, like, now. What's going on there? Verstappen will turn on party mode. Oh, Joe. Delusions of grandeur, says Visual. But they've got the new wind tunnel, so McLaren would be as prepared as you can get with the new parts. Oof. Right, let's go. 1 minute 50. Oh, look at them both. The Mercedes. 10 and 11. Not quite, not at risk. 128.2, said Crofty. Mr. Hamilton is 128.4. Mr. Russell, 128.4 also. Oh my gosh. Is Lewis going to make it out of Q2? Macon, I can neither confirm nor deny, chap. Being honest, I can neither confirm or deny. Just don't know. Nobody knows at this stage. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like fool's gold with them. There's no telling. Ain't no telling. Huh. Oh, Mr. Verstappen in that. Oh, look at that. Mr. Verstappen in 40. So this, look, Red Bull have found themselves. This is what when people talk about Max Verstappen, it's just a car. D. Murphy, check this out. Max Verstappen is currently in 15th place. Okay, so he has the car and the RB20 is God tier, yeah. Checo Perez, there he goes. He's just dropped it in fourth. Fourth, interestingly though, I think he just played it safe, didn't he? Even with all the advantages though, he's still got to go and put that 128 flat in, right? He's still got to go and do the lap. With all of those advantages banked and sunk cost, and he's in a privileged position, he's Max, but he's still got to go and put that lap in ultimately. Just has to. There's no other way to. You can't cut it any other way, right? Got to go and do the lap. If he makes a mistake or a cheeky lock-up or understeer into... you know what I mean? Like, he could. The risk there is, even with all the advantages, he does a Checo Perez and he's out in Q2. That's the risk. That's the risk. Which car's touching the ground? Oof. Brundle. Go on then. D. Murphy, Lando. Mate, he's not messing about, is he, Lando? 127.6. Oof. Oof. Go on, and all eyes on the teal coloured pair. Currently in 11th and 12th. Michael Lewis. I know it's a bit techie, isn't it? Okay, so none on the clock. I think they're through, aren't they? Sonoda. Is anybody still going? No. Sonoda out. Magnussen. Nah. Lewis hit the wall. No. Fuck, Steve. Let's see. Is he trundling back? He's trundling back, isn't he? Let's see if he's got any actual damage. Mercedes, see scorched earth Cameron coming into it in a second. I didn't see the flag. I don't think there was a flag, Hassan, if I'm honest. Merc. Oh, what am I saying here? Noddy accountant Cameron on the maths. I'm still looking. Oh my God, yeah, Mercedes are whatever. Cheers, chaps. Thanks, Mercedes. Now you're going to bring out scorched earth Cameron again, aren't you? All this talk about the bloody Hassan, I wasn't even watching, mate. 11th and 12th. I've got nothing, man, says Lewis. Yeah, copy Lewis. Yeah, so we've been bumped. No kidding, you've been bumped. See the language here? You brought a new floor, Mercedes, to Miami. All this talk about upside and incremental gains, and we're going to keep going. Let's have a look at Lewis's lap. Understeered massively, and there you go, he hit the bloody thing. So that's worth a 10th. Let's normalise for that. Mate, you were still nowhere. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, well, Brundle said it best. Lewis has made more mistakes in that one sector than he used to in a season. The car is a dog, but nevertheless, look at Toto Wolff, head in hands. Nevertheless, Macon, Steve, you still got to go. Remember what I said about Max Verstappen? You still got to go and put the lap in. I don't care how good or how bad the car is. The onus then is on the driver to go and nail a lap. The God tier ones, when they have rubbish cars, had that capability. Lewis used to do it back in the day. See Singapore 2018, 2012. He didn't have the greatest car, but still put in some different level drives. Bloody Max Verstappen, Toro Rosso nailed it. Red Bull 2 2016, Brazil, for crying out loud. The goatiest ones have this way of pulling something out the fire, even when the storm is there, right? Even when the waters are rough. So what are we doing here? Flipping Nora. It's nonsense. I don't want to hear any cheek or any sort of like flippancy and like... Do you know what I mean? Stop laughing at the flipping press conference and be serious about this, man. I know you're going to Ferrari, Lewis, and that this is sabbatical and gardening leave settings. But, like, are we going to approach this in a way that's meaningful? Engage this like it's something that we're in for. You're talking all this stuff, Lewis, bless you, about this being your first order priority, that you want to nail Mercedes and you want you want to improve the team. But like, mate, come on. Let's be serious now. I've had enough. Scorched Earth Cameron yet again. The press conference is still fresh in my brain. All these lot talking about Icon Kernagry and disrespecting me for my time. I'm sitting there paying my £90 to watch these lot laugh and joke at the press conference. This isn't the first one, even the press conferences. Absolute joke, Mark. What are we doing? Have some shame, right? The technical arrogance, you don't have time for that now because the car's not good enough. 11th and 12th. Russell and Lewis, like, what are we doing? And the drivers have got something to answer for too as well. I'm not having it. It's a joke. Mercedes again just letting down the side. Shameless. Fix your car, lads. Just like what Christian Horner said. Fix your fudging car. Don't worry about... Max Verstappen ain't going to this team now. To go and be in 11th for 12. He said it as much today, right? That it's all about the speed of the car and the stability of the team. For now, Red Bull have that. So don't even waste your breath, Toto Wolff. Toto Wolff, the Joker as well. Look at this. How is he trying to declare himself out of the Adrian Newey race? What are we doing? How? Have you seen your results, chap? You need Adrian Newey more than anybody else on the grid. Chap, what are we doing? Honestly, I just can't. Trying to find the positive, James, but bloody Nora, new chapter. Yeah, it's true, man. I want to be positive and be a bit optimistic about something. But I just look at this again now. Got it big wide on my screen. 10th, 11th, not even 10th, 11th and 12th out in Q2 are the Mercedes. Look at George, understeer, oversteer. The cars are steering one of these. He can't cope with it, man. He clearly hasn't got the confidence in the car. You are right, Anthony Davidson. That car gives him nothing. That crazy stuff is happening off throttle for people. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, like Mercedes, man them. Mercedes fundamentalists will say, listen, just remember the bloody the glory years, Cameron. Be grateful for the fact that your driver had a dominant car for some... I don't care about that. How does that help me now? F1 is a what have you done for me lately sport. Why, like, he went scorched earth on a dime. It's bonkers, D. Murphy. George Russell wasn't even on full throttle just then, and his car's doing one of these Drift King settings. What are we, like, honestly, chat, you're going to have to hold me down on this because I just looked at that. I didn't even clock. I'm still in like 2018 where we just go through, right? This is half the problem for me. I haven't recalibrated my brain as we get the shots of Lewis doing one of these. He was just throwing his hands up, shaking his head, shoulders slumped, waving at the crowd. I tell you what I will say, yeah, let me tell you this. Pictures of Lewis. This is Lewis Hamilton territory, right? Forget the car. Lewis is beaten by George more often than not. Absolutely as well. You're completely on the money, Jude. I make no excuses for Lewis in that sense. People will say that he's one of the goatiest, and he's one of the goatiest. Like, he's a brilliant driver still. But, like, at what point do you have to hold someone to account? What have they done? They did a big cash grab at Sky Sports. Settle down. We can all still root for Lando. D. Murphy. I don't handle imperatives very well, mate. I'll tell you, you'll learn from me. Settle down that will rile me up even more visually. If Merc comes with the best engine in 2026, then McLaren will beat them. They spent most of the last decade deciding how much engine power to unlock and how to manage the tyres. Now they're exposed. This is the point, isn't it, visual? Mercedes have... Even through the dominant years, it's not like they had an aerodynamic machine. They weren't leveraging. All their their downforce was like tacked on stuff. It wasn't built into the car in the same way Adrian Newey designed all those Red Bull beasts. And so they were kind of playing with engine house money, weren't they? Saying what we all feel. It's... Jay, I can't... Brundle asking Zach how I can't even talk. Chat, look at me, lost for bloody words. 11th and 12th, and that's the way you can put. You best have some manners in the press conference. I'll tell you that much. From the next press conference, Lewis, you best have some manners. Electronic, you're too kind, sir. Have some manners. Behave yourself, Lewis. And engage the fans meaningfully. I taught my 5-year-old niece one thing when she started watching F1 with me. Lewis knows better. You see that, Hassan? You see that, Hassan? That's exactly what I'm saying. Ricardo in 5th, miles ahead of both Matt. Steve, I can't even. Hassan, something wrong with Merck and they're keeping it quiet across the breathe, exhale, just be like LeBron. It's just a race. I feel 100% Cam. I feel electronic cornbread. I'm trying, man. Trying to woo Sarah and be stoic. Did you guys see this LeBron thing where he's talking to JJ Redick about the play and he's just remembering it almost like he's Gary Kasparov on a chessboard? Mate, I was ridiculously impressed by LeBron James doing that. Like levels. Yeah, no kidding, Ted Kravitz, that Mercedes is not performing. Just as I was getting over it, you've brought me back there to the surprise and like how do we as Mercedes, for you guys that are Mercedes, I know the non-Mercedes contingent are loving this, but for you guys who are Mercedes fans in the chat, like, what is the solve? Do you know what I mean? What's the solve? Go on, let's get a cheeky poll on the go. I don't know. I can't even get any more things. You know what? Whatever. All right. Okay, so only 4 minutes of Q3. James built another Ferrari F140 and only painted black and silver. With a Mercedes badge and see Paddock, you're far too kind, ja. Go on then, we're 3 minutes away. So this is the nuance and quirk with an FB. Oh, PK, you're a legend. Visual, you guys are killing me. Chris T, my guy. This would be the worst year in Mercedes history. A change of leadership might be in hand. Chris T. Chris Turley, you're not a million miles away there from the truth. Toto out vowels. Perhaps in, says Pancon. Bloody Nora. That would have been my other suggestion, you know. I do like a bit of James Vowles. I'm not going to lie to you. He cuts, not that I know him personally or anything, but he always, I like the way, I like the cut of his jib, way he responds to questions. Always very thoughtful is James. As we are, 2 minutes 15. These guys, this is where you got traffic right, isn't it? It's a weird thing. What do you guys like this sprint format? Do I only get 4 minutes? I don't know. I remember back in the day, it was like 60 minutes, wasn't it? Cornbread, you're a legend. Solve is for Toto to lead, recruit new engineers, be at the factory and stop video conferencing into his job. Let's go. Electronic. Don't get me started in this. Let's go. Working from home. You on about you're not going to Suzuka, Toto? How does that work? Toto read lots of business management books. He's a PR man. Visual. At Harvard Business School, like giving lectures and stuff. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's nice. It looks brilliant on paper, yeah. But what's, as Windsor would say, take your head above the parapet. Have a look, Cameron. He always tells me this when I'm talking to him, what's going on 2020. He always looks, Checo Perez, provisional pole. For Bourbon and Honey. Thank you so much, mate, and I appreciate you, sir. You're an absolute legend. You guys are far too kind, man. Looking to take this channel purple this year. I'm not having it daily videos each and every single time. The sprints are refreshing only because Red Bull don't have time to nail it for a set. It's a good shout, you know, visual. Lando pole with 47 seconds remaining. I'm sure that these guys will be doing push, right? Checo Perez going purple again in sector 2. Let's have a look. Green mini sectors. I feel like Checo Perez is about to drop this on provisional pole with 30. Hulkenberg. What? No, Checo Perez is going to go quicker than Hulkenberg, surely. In about 0.2 of a second. All eyes on Checo Perez. There he goes. Drops it on provisional pole. Although Mr. Max Verstappen has done 2 purple sectors, a 29.0 first sector. And going green. Here comes Max Verstappen. The inevitable again. A bit of oversteer, but still about to drop it on pole. Max Verstappen goes pole. Who knew? Visual. It doesn't even matter, does it? He still goes and does it. Verstappen each and every single time. Where are Lando and Co? Let's have a look. Lando's going quick. 29.8. 29.8 first sector. No. Where have McLaren's gone? Alonso goes up into 5th. Stroll ahead of Alonso. What is going on in this Noah's Ark? Oh my gosh, Lando's dropped down to 6th. Those upgrades haven't translated, have they? Charles Leclerc. Oh, Charles Leclerc, second Macon. Front row. But again, I'm kind of not far away from Max either. A 10th. Take that. Sainz up into 5th. Charles Leclerc saying he's got pace again all of a sudden. Oof. Oh, the humanity. Oh, yeah. Lando's fluffed his tyres, hasn't he? That's why Piastri goes higher, quicker than Lando. I think Lando's failed for once to bring his tyres in earnest. That's what's happened there. Go on, then. Max. So these are your positions for sprint quali. You got Max. You got Charles. You got Perez. You got Danny Rick up into 4. Finally. Yeah, they weren't set up for the softs, were they? Maybe they've set up for the race. Danny Rick 4th that's goating from Danny Rick, and I've slandered him and cursed him a lot. Sainz in 5th. Sainz won't be happy with that. What have they in the drink? Yo, what's going on, Kiddie Super? Danny Rick. Leclerc seems to be getting over his self-destruct mode, but give him time. I don't know about all that. Just fair play to him for coming back and dialing in. Oh, the humanity indeed, Nagy. Not even going to talk about Mercedes again because Crafty asking the question of Lando, were the tyres too cold going into that lap? That is the $64,000 question, young man. But I digress. Leclerc second is not too bad. See, 2020 though, let me tell you about Charles Leclerc. This is the problem with Charles Leclerc. Oh, Matt, look at that. Max is surprised. Having made that big mistake, he's just like, Max Verstappen at this stage is like, what are these dudes doing? How can I make such a material mistake and still, but he's like the Ty D. Murphy, inevitable, ominous, foreboding. When you hear him come back after having made a mistake mid-lap and he's just like, well, yeah, well, I suppose that's quite good. He just, do you know what I mean? Don't the others have shame? How can Max Verstappen be coming back like, really? I can make that big mistake and still drop it on. He's looking at the rest of them like, you lot are just jokers. Be better, do better. Like, what's that about? Macon, you're a legend. Toto needs to pay John Elkin, Zach Brown, Ross Brawn to write a book on building an F1 team. Rebuilding an F1 team visual. It's a very different skill to turn around to right a ship than to just continue steering one in the right direction, right? It's a very different type of leadership and a motivation skill that we're talking about. Max is not Thanos. Thanos left half. Mate, he just leaves no crumbs, does he? Each and every single time. 2020, I do not believe in those Ferrari suits at all. Not a good fan. Hassan, good night. Fudge the McLaren 2. Norris on pole. Bare minimum hope. It's all gone now. There is nothing for us, is there? But, I digress. The upside to this is that qualifying proper is where these lot will earn their corn. They will get a second bite of the cherry tomorrow. And for that, I cannot wait. Because I think there were green shoots. Leclerc in the Ferrari. Sainz will do better tomorrow as well in the qualifying proper. Norris will warm up his tyres. He will have learnt lessons from this. But for now, for your sprint shootout, Max Verstappen has dropped it on pole to a 10th from Charles Leclerc. Holy smoke. You guys have been legends. We'll be back on the Big Evil. I'll be live again in 5 minutes talking about this Mercedes fiasco on a different bloody stream, because I think it might be scorched earth Cameron yet again. You're going to have to get used to that guy for now, whilst Mercedes are just in the doldrums. Indulge me though. Acknowledge me. I will see you guys tomorrow for qualifying live stream, and thereafter the race, of course. For those of you who want to see scorched earth Cameron and all things Mercedes, then stay tuned for that as well, because I'll be back in another 5-10 minutes after I get some water down my veins. Steve A, you're a legend. But as much as I said, Visual, you're a legend. Thank you so much for gifting. Nice, we'll get more running on the softs in quali, so hopefully he's ready. Visual. I like the optimism there, but anytime I see Charles Leclerc on front row with Max Verstappen, it just reminds me straight away of Suzuka 2020. Remember when 2022 even, or 2022? Just disrespects him off the start, doesn't he, Max Verstappen? Each and every single time. Overtakes him as if the trap's going backwards. But I digress. Right, streaming in about 10 minutes, guys. We need to have an honest conversation about Mercedes, don't we, in this underperformance. Promising us the world and delivering nothing of the sort. But I digress. Prosecution for now. Rest. No further questions, Your Honour.